My name is Amiah Rhodes. I'm a senior at Ben Davis High School, and I've been running track for 6 years consecutively. And a couple of my events, I run the four, I long jump, I anchor our 4x4, and I just recently started running the 200.
Yes, we've been seeing that. So you say you started about 6 years ago, so that would put you
Yeah, seventh grade.
seventh grade. So what got you interested in track?
So originally, I played basketball in
Okay.
school, and they told us that they wanted us to do a spring sport just to stay conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, I already do a lot of running in basketball, so I think I might be good at running track. So then
Right.
I went out to track practice and I was like, oh, I like this because I was the type of person that was up and down the court, up and down the court. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I like this. This is fun.
You were the one hitting the fast breaks down
Yeah.
the court. They like, Maya, you got it. You could get it. So even with tracking, so you're like, hey, I'm fast. What pulled you to long jump? Like what made you say,
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
I
yes.
bet.
When I started like in middle school, I started running the four, and they were
Mm-hmm.
like, you have a lot of speed, but you also have endurance. So
Mm-hmm.
one day it was just a random practice, and they were like, we want you to go try a field event, and I was like, okay, that'll be cool. So I went out and we were just practicing one day, and I jumped like a 15, and they were like, whoa,
Right.
you got some hops too.
Right. Right. You got buddies.
Right. So then I started long jumping from there, and then long jump that's my favorite event. I fell in love with it.
Oh,
Huh. So you didn't mind getting dirty in the sand.
I was
right.
playing in the sand every day. Every day I go to long jump, I call it the beach day.
Yes, I love that.
Right.
I
So
love that.
you've been doing this in seventh grade. Do you have, I know you probably watched the Olympics and stuff like that, but is
Yeah,
there anybody that really inspires you when
yeah,
it comes to track and field?
definitely. I have a couple of different, like, because there's so many different events. More recently, I think it's pronounced Tara Davis. She's a long jumper. I'm like the type, if I get done in school, I'll go look up her
Oh,
highlights. Like, I like watch her all the time, and she's so inspiring, and I want to be like her. Yeah.
yes, that's dope. Well, you're on the right track for sure. Is there anyone else? You said there were a few, but Tara's the
Yeah.
most recent. So who are some of your other inspos?
I would definitely say this one's more close to home. When I started my freshman year, we had like a lot of really, really good seniors, and one of my favorite seniors that kind of like brought me up, her name is Cassira Simmons,
Hmm.
and I watched her and I seen her work ethic and how she handled herself, and I was like, I want to be like her when my senior year. Like,
Yeah.
like she was like a really good image of what I wanted to be, and like how she just handled herself with so much like respect. Like she had so much respect for everybody. Like she wasn't like the type that was like, oh, I'm the best and I'm cocky. She was like so
Hmm.
nice and caring, and she's great.
Yeah. Well, you're learning from some great inspo because we can definitely see like you have a very positive aura. You're really good with other teams, right? We're on opposite teams and things like that. And your attitude and positivity, it glows. So that's really, really good. So you've been running since seventh grade.
Right.
I'm sure you have had a lot of different memories from
Yeah.
competing. Which one kind of stands out to you the most?
I would definitely say the first time I ever went to state was my eighth grade year. And I went to state in the four, the two, and long jump. And I was out there long jumping, and I had our AD at the time on the phone, and he was talking to me. He was like, Amaya, you're so close to the Lyndhurst school record. You can do this one. So I'm just getting up, I'm ready to jump, I'm doing my whole jump warm up, and I ended up breaking the school record. And like that would just like set me in. Like I was like, okay, track is my thing. Like I'm a track
Yes.
athlete.
It's
Like,
your jam.
yeah.
And so I'm surprised because you're in Indiana. Most people who are in Indiana love basketball.
Hmm.
So did you continue to play like when you first got into high school, or did you just like, all right, I'm done?
I kind of chilled off basketball. Like I didn't know that I like when I came into high school, I didn't know that we had an indoor season. So when I like first went out to conditioning, they were talking about, oh, we're getting ready for indoor, and I was like, oh, what's indoor? And they were like, well, it's kind of a different like setting, and I was like, oh, well, if it's just more track, I would just want to run more track.
You found your love,
Right? I
okay?
I fell in love with track. Yes.
Yes, yes. What would you say is one of the most challenging things about being a athlete in track?
I would say just like how diverse track is in general, there's so many different like skill sets and events. And like when like somebody that's like first joining, it's hard to figure out what you like what your thing is like because there's so many different areas you could do distance, you can do sprints, you can jump, you can throw. And like it took me like just up until now, like to come back around to like running sprints because I also ran distance for 2 years and like it's like a lot of like self improvement and figuring out what you can shine in. And I would say that was probably one of my most difficult challenges because I went from running the mile to running the 2 to running the 8 and like I would just like just now finally go, oh, I'm a 400 runner. Like,
Well, they've had you try everything, and the fact that you were open to doing so.
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty major in my book. To be all over the track like that. That's quite impressive. I personally would have never done that. So we would go up to the 4. Outside of that, hey, you're asking too many questions.
What's an 800? You said 2 laps.
Yeah,
Like, what are we doing? For
yeah,
what? Okay.
For how long?
you're right.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
with you, your long jump,
Mm-hmm.
a common scenario with long jump in general. First jump scratch, second jump scratch. You're at this point
Right.
of either I make a good one or I don't make it to finals. How do you handle pressure situations like that?
I would say that when I'm have pressure on me, I actually excel. Like for an example, when we were at Mick Indoor, I was having a horrible time on the board and I was just all over the place. And like I took a second and I walked down to the other side of the track and I was like, okay, let me take a deep breath. Let me kindle what I have done. And I have amazing coaches and they record all my videos. So I sat and like looked at what happened and like what was good and what was bad. And like I just took a moment from everything else and took a deep breath and was like, okay, I need to do this. I need to have 13 steps and I need to look up. And, you know, I just took a minute to like sit and process everything because everything in track happens so fast. And like, it's like such a big moment in such a short amount of time. So,
Mhm.
like, sometimes you just need to stop and be like, okay, you're here in the moment. And what do we need to do to excel?
So I have a two-part question to what you just said. What was the outcome? Want to make sure you share that with everyone?
Oh, so I ended up, oh, what was my jump? I think I ended up jumping 17.9 and I became the 2025 indoor MIC champion.
OMG.
Congratulations.
I'm like, we wanna highlight that, right?
Right.
And my second part to that is you talked about like you work really well under pressure, and so you were able to go and kind of take a step away, talk to your coaches, and kind of focus on what you needed to do. Were you always that type of athlete, or how did you get to that point where it's like, hey, I still have another jump. I need to refocus, lock in, and hear. Like, how did you get there?
Yeah, at the start, I was like, I used to be a nervous wreck. I was the type that would be like, for example, I would be on the line of the 400 and I'd be crying because I just had such bad nerves. But I have a performance coach and his name is Austin. And 2 years ago, I met him and like I sat down with him and was like, hey, when I get into stressful situations, I tend to just break down. And he gave me a lot of really good like breathing exercises and like things to just like kind of ground myself. So like,
Mm.
my mind is like running at a million miles per hour, but like if I can just calm myself down and sit and be in the moment, then I'm able to lock in and like figure out what I need to do.
Love it. Well, shout out to your performance coach. And also, we know your coaches' names who you have said are big supporters of you, but can you share their names
Oh,
with the viewers?
yeah. So my head coach, her name is Alicia Wallace. She coached Ben Davis a long ways ago. And now she's come back in the head coach spot. And then we have my kind of he's my guy. His name is Keith Suggs. He's all over the place. He coaches sprints, he does relays, and he also did jumping for me for the last 2 years. And then recently I got a new jumping coach, and his name is Coach Teddy. And he's actually been such a big help. Like I love the way he coaches. He's like such a positive, just like cheery guy. And like
Yes.
sometimes I'll be down in the dumps and he's like, Amiah, you're just so great. And I'm like, what? Thank you.
Definitely. It's so great to have like a good group of people who believe in you and are supporting you and yeah, having different characteristics and just different, yeah, it's like I go to this person for this or like, hey, this person's gonna cheer me up when I'm
Right.
like, I'm not jumping in.
I'll go
Yeah.
to Suggs and he'll be like, Amiah, you need to lock in. And then I'll go and he's like, Amiah, you're doing great. It's okay.
Yeah, that's cool. Now, when you have this great group of people around you, like, how does that help shape your perspective in terms of winning and losing, and also when it comes to how you view competition as a whole?
Yeah, I take competition as just like check marks of progress, like progress check marks. Like I'll practice all week and then we'll get to a big meet and that shows me like you put in this amount of effort this week and you got these results. And I would definitely say that the coach and my coaching staff, I love them to death. They are a big support. Like they get me through the days and they keep me accountable. And like that's one thing that's like something that's really near and dear is accountability and like getting up every day and choosing to I want to go be great and I want to get to practice and like I'm excited to get to practice. Like I'm the type that's like, oh, let's go to practice. School's over.
That's
Yeah,
good. So what would you say keeps you motivated, right? Like, I mean, you have your athletes that are really, yeah, I'm excited. I have some goals, and you have other athletes like, oh, practice, woo.
right, I have to go to practice.
So what is your motivation to push through those hard workouts, to push through the grind?
I would say I'm the type of person that loves performing. Like when I get out on the track, I'm like I get in this atmosphere of, oh, I have so many people that came out here to see me today. So I want to put my best show on for them. And another thing is like I'm kind of like I'm the middle child in my family. So like I have older sister doing this and little sister doing this. So like I want to have my thing that like
Yeah.
I'm known for in my family. So like that's another big thing. I'll come home and like be like, oh, I did this and this and this today. And everybody's like, oh, you did that? And I'm like, yeah.
Nice, nice. Look, you're taking that middle child syndrome that kids usually tend to have, and you are making it your own. Like, hey, I can shine too, even in the
Right.
middle.
Right. Matter of fact, I shine the brightest in the middle.
Exactly, exactly,
Uh,
exactly.
so what? Tell me, like when you won Mick indoor, how did you celebrate that? How do you celebrate these other achievements that you have?
I definitely our school has a program that's called BDTV and it's like a our students do like a newscast and like as soon as I get done with a meet I'll send all my videos over to BDTV and be like, hey guys, if you guys want to post this, that would be cool. So like
Yeah.
it's kind of like I share my personal like athletic moments with the school. So like once I share those, I'll be walking down the hallways and be like, oh my, you did really good at that meet or like I like to share what I do and like sometimes like when I share I hope I inspire other people to go do like their thing and be great at their thing.
For sure. So what piece of advice would you give the younger Amayas out there or those who are thinking about running or running now, don't know if they want to stick with it?
I would definitely say that you have to choose to get up every day and be dedicated to the grind because with like meets and like big events it's all about like it's not about being perfect, it's about like being a better version of yourself every day. Like there's the version of Amaya that gets up and I'm like, oh, I gotta go to school for 8 hours and then I gotta be at this track meet for 3 hours. I'm gonna get in. But there's Amaya that I want to be every day. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna get to school, I'm gonna be in the moment, and then I'm gonna get to the show. Like that's my thing. And I would say it's definitely you definitely have to make a choice to get up every day and want and like have that want to go compete and have the want to succeed.
You dropping some great nuggets. You getting me excited.
I know. Like, oh, okay. Well, with this, you have indoor, outdoor. How do you keep yourself healthy? Like, how do you keep on the front end of preventing injuries or anything like that?
Yeah, I definitely work with my trainers a lot. I'm always like not in like because of injuries, but I'm always in the trainer. Like I do mobility and like muscle rehab after practice, and I ice and everything. But it's also like just like being smart about how I set up like my meets, because like as a senior now I kind of have like a say in like, hey, I want to do this and I think I'd excel in this if you put me in this today, or like, and it's also a big mental health thing. Like some days you get up and you're like, I'm really tired and like I'm exhausted, and like you just got to take a moment, and like I take a moment and go like, let's get through today one day at a time. And it's just a lot of progression.
What role would you say nutrition plays in this?
Oh, nutrition is a ginormous role. What you put, like your body is a gas tank, and the food you put in your body fuels your body to get through the day. And that's another thing I talk about with my performance coach, because I used to have horrible eating habits. I used to be the, oh, I'm gonna go home from practice, eat the hot Cheetos, but
Oh,
yeah,
I love these
that
hot
was
Cheetos.
bad. That was bad. But like I wouldn't say I have like a too strict diet, but like I definitely try to get in my carbs and like the fruits and vegetables. And I'm very mindful of what I put in my body now, because if I put junk in my body, I'm gonna run like junk. But if I put like good fuel in my body, then I'll be able to compete at a higher level, because I just have that energy to do that.
That sounds beautiful.
Look, like spot on. Look,
Yeah, I'm
you
glad
speak.
that's there for you.
Yeah,
I mean, most people miss that part. I'm like into that. Like nutrition stuff is my jam. With the chiropractic piece.
Oh
So
yeah.
yeah, I'm so happy to hear that. You're not like, yeah, McDonald's all day
right.
or any other fast food. The big one is the chicken place, but
Yeah, don't even say that right now.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah, something's wrong if everybody's so ecstatic over it, right?
I mean,
Gotta wonder.
but not good to eat every day.
Yeah.
But it's delicious. It's delicious. But no, you're speaking Coach Jay's language with the nutrition for sure. That's it. That is his jam for sure. Do you feel like you've had to sacrifice anything as an athlete?
Yeah, I sacrifice a lot. I would say like my biggest sacrifice is like definitely like there I would say that like I'm not like too big on like social, like big social events. Like I'm not a party type of person, but
Mm-hmm.
definitely been like some times where like last year's indoor state was the same day as prom,
Mm,
and I was like, that I had to make a choice of, oh, do I want to like not do that good at indoor state so I can save my face and save my energy for prom, or do I want to go out and give it my all for that, and go out and give my all in state, and then I can be a little tired for prom.
mm-hmm.
So like it's definitely just like there's so much that happens in your high school life, and like it's something, sometimes it just clashes with the athletics, and like you just have to make that choice of, oh, am I do I want to be school Amiah today, or do I want to be athlete Amiah? And it's usually athlete Amiah.
Mm-hmm.
I've definitely skipped a couple homecomings.
I love it. Good.
So did you go to prom? I'm curious.
I
Yeah.
actually did go to prom. I went to
Okay.
prom. I went to the meet first, and then I ran home. It took an
Nice.
hour to get ready and ran to prom.
Nice.
All right. Just there
Oh,
you go.
I
So you
still
still have that balance. Yeah, you like, I'm tired, but I'm still about to get out here and have my prime
right have
experience.
my
Look,
moment.
yes. I love it.
So how do you like you already talked about your videos and people recording your videos. How big of a role is that in your overall performance when it comes to using technology?
I think it plays a really good, like it's a really good like way to critique, because like when you have somebody recording like what you do, you can like sit and go back and slow it down and go, like for example, long jump, like I can sit and like, oh, I didn't get my knee up high enough in this clip, and then I could take that, and like when I'm about to jump again, I can be like, remember to get your knee up higher this time. So like I would definitely say that like taking videos and stuff like that helps a lot. And also like with social media too, like I whenever like I have like good highlights or good like stats or whatever, I like to post them on my like kind of track account,
Mm-hmm.
so like people can see what I'm up to during track. And I think that gives off a good like positive vibe. Like it's a good way for like like different people to like come and support, like without, because not everybody can be there, but like everybody can hop on Instagram and check and still like be there to support too.
What do you feel makes you a great teammate?
Oh, I would say definitely I try like my hardest to be like everywhere at once. And I make sure like when I get to practice, I go say hey to everybody, how was your day at school? Like I try to connect with everybody every single day. And I'm a team captain, so like I feel like that's one of my roles. And I also like I'm very I wouldn't say I'm strict, but like I keep people accountable for what they're doing. Like if I see somebody like acting up the school, I'm like, hey, you're an athlete, you have an image, like
Mm-hmm.
right thing, and we're being good people. So like I would say that I hold people accountable, but like I'm also here if you ever need to talk. Like all the girls have my phone number, and like I'll be like, if you had a bad meet today, you can hit me up and like we can talk about it. And like I just want to make sure that because we're all high school girls, and like I want to make sure that everybody's okay and stuff. Like I really care about them. They're like family.
Yes.
That's cool.
Love it.
One last question.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how do you balance out like your personal goals with your team's goals?
I would say we're actually talking about this today because we were talking about my lineup for sectionals. I would say that like I'm a really big team person. Like I really like when it comes to like the 4x4, like I'm really big team. But like there's there's certain times that I gotta take my goals and put like myself first, and like not in like a selfish sense, but like like I gotta be able to like I want to do good in these events, but I also need to make sure that like I'm staying like enough. I have enough energy to go help my team out in the 4x4. So like I very strategically place out my events that I do that day to make sure that like I'm still there to be there for everybody else to hold everybody else up too.
This is my last question, I swear, coach. If your team or your coaches could describe you in one word, what would it be and why?
I asked Coach Suggs this today. I knew this question was going to get asked. He told me, he said sensational. And I go, that's a big word.
Yeah.
Why do you say that? And he said, we see athletes come through the program every year and we see a whole bunch of different outcomes. But every once in a while, you get a very, very special athlete that is going to go out and do big things. And we, as like a community and like a coaching staff, we see that in you. And like he was just talking about how I'm like a selfless kind of person, and like I do my thing, but I'm also just around everywhere else to make sure everybody else is good too. And he was just like he was like you're just like what we want our track athletes to be. Like we see that in you. Like he was like he said I was the standard of what he wants everybody else to be.
I love that. I love
Yeah, that's nice. So Maya, if people want to follow along, check you out on this Instagram
Oh yes.
account you were talking about, you can give us that so we can make sure it's shared and they're aware.
this.
Yeah. So I have my professional Instagram account. That one is Amiah and then underscore the beloved.
Okay.
And then they can also follow the Ben Davis track Twitter, that too.
Mhm.
Well, we
Yeah.
appreciate you joining us.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me. This was
Yes. It's been a pleasure, and we're looking forward to you closing out this chapter the outdoor season with some great success. And we see you have on that UND shirt.
oh UND.
So yes,
Yes,
yes, you already know where you're going. Congratulations.
transforming from a giant to a greyhound.
Yes.
That works.
Good. Well, good luck, and we will see you tomorrow, actually. Yeah.
Oh yes, Charlie Riley. Yes, we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one.
You guys have a great
Bye. You
All right.
too.
bye.
Bye.